How to think outside of the box. Let us unbox the mystery of thinking outside the box, by first defining how to think inside of the box. To think inside of the box, we must attend to our thinking or problem solving, within the safe boundaries of our proven experience, beliefs, formal knowledge, social constraints and conventional ways of conducting business. In other words, just keep doing what you are doing, and when faced with a challenge to the normal way of doing things, try to do normal even better or faster. I'll give you an example of thinking inside of the box. Let's make it a lofty, pre-flight example. Since the beginning of times, birds have been at the envy of humans and probably some other creatures. I guess everyone at some time has played with the thought, what if I could fly? And, through centuries, people came up with various contraptions to solve the challenge of flying, and wisely, they started out by studying the birds. Thus, the efforts of flying rendered in various solutions of doing wing movements, frantically trying to leave ground by flapping feather-covered sheets of something attached to the arms of the prospective aviators. As you can imagine, many of the trials was foregone by serious meetings, and discussions amongst serious people, experts nonetheless, about how to mimic the ways of the birds. Sometimes, they even got lift up and it carried them a few meters only, to set off an array of sub-optimizations in order to get steady liftoffs. They studied the anatomy of birds, the quality of feathers, alternative materials and so on, hoping to crack the code of the beacon beings. They, the bird imitators, did things exactly right according to the conventional perspective. Only, it didn't yield the desired outcome. As a quick observation, on a philosophical level, flying has always been available to mankind. The option to create a flying device arrived with the atmosphere, so to speak. We just needed to learn and invent quite a few things in order for us to actually enjoy the benefits of cruising among the clouds. Many creative sessions were needed. It's a lot like the opportunities we all have yet to discover. Let's get practical. Here are a few examples of practical things you can do in order to successfully think an unconventional, outside-of-the-box thought. In this article I only discuss changing perspectives, but there are other ways to challenge status quo too. Start by defining the challenge. For convenience, we'll think of getting unstuck in some situation. Maybe it's about you wanting to make a big change in life. It's a common problem for people. So, when you feel like you have tried everything and you still haven't escaped your box, do this. Freely elaborate on what your desired outcome is. Suspend all constraints like time, lack of courage, what is conventional, finances, etc. If your only desire is for something to change, then anything will do. But if you have an idea of what you would like to achieve, then get specific about what the sought-after achievement would do for you. If you had already gotten what you desire, how will your life be different? Once you have a concept of how things would be different for you, immerse yourself in the desired outcome. Think and feel as if you have already achieved your outcome and look back to your current situation. Now, what are some of the things that have changed along the way in order for you to have achieved the benefits of your desired outcome? Borrow the perspective of someone else. I've seen stickers that say, "What would Jesus do?" And I've heard questions like, "What would Elon Musk do?" Or "What would Malala do?" They are all pointers to a well-known fact: you can utilize your understanding of others' perspective or thinking to challenge your own thoughts. I've been told that Elon Musk has a habit of pushing creativity by constraining time. For example, if Musk asks his team how long it will take to develop a product from one of his ideas, he might get an answer from his team that says it will take 2 years. Musk in return replies, "Fine, but I need it done in 3 months." This pushes the team to look beyond the constraints of conventional development, into something faster and maybe better. So, using your borrowed perspective from someone will probably help you see things in new ways and clearly out of the box. A third way to change perspective is by diligently challenging the constraints of the matter, or looking for new ways to understand the challenge at hand. The fact that you have never done the things you want to do might be your biggest advantage. And this brings us to the conclusion of the flying problem. I'm sure that selling bikes can be hard and constructing mechanical things might be even harder, but the two bicycle salesmen, Orville and Wilbur Wright, didn't let constraints of any imaginary boxes keep them on ground. They too studied birds, but they rediscovered that the challenge of making a flying machine was not about flapping wings in the right pattern, it was about creating lift from air passing over the wings. So, the two salesmen and pioneers of the huge aviation industry concluded that propulsion and equilibrium were the two real challenges of flying. Nobody could make or would sell them a suitable engine, so by the help of their bicycle mechanic, they constructed their own engine. They failed a few times and studied some more bird action, specifically on how to maintain equilibrium, and eventually they reached the bird's perspective of the world. To sum it up, think of the desired outcome, not the challenge. Challenge the way you think about the problem, and redefine the problem with any and all perspectives. Thinking out the box requires you to dream a little, and to do things you've never done before. Check the links below for inspiration and hit the like button.